dictate kind of what position it's in.
Do you use open strings very often, or do
Oh,
you try
oh
to
yeah,
keep?
yeah, every day.
Okay. I know a lot of people say avoid open strings at all cost.
No, no, man, they're my best friend. Um, I mean, they're great for shift points. That's their biggest asset, you know. I mean, but if it makes something easier to play and it doesn't sonically disrupt the flow of the line, because the thing about open strings that bugged people is that they sound different.
Right.
And depending on how you have your bass EQ'd, what kind of strings you're using, how new those strings are, a lot of different factors will go into how different it will sound,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But you know, if I'm like walking giant steps or something and go, uh, nobody's going to know. There's no way.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's moving too fast, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm using those open strings to make things easier rather than trying to grab closed notes just because somebody said don't play open strings.
Right.
So
Okay.
you have to use, I think the judgment call should actually come from your own ear. Or if you're working for somebody and they say, no, don't use that note, I don't like the way it sounds. You know, I mean, because as you know, whoever's writing the check, that's how the song goes.
Of course.
But you know, as far as, you know, you got to use your own musical judgment. If it sounds fine, then use it. If it makes it easier for your hands, why not? It's the same argument as like you should alternate on everything you play with the right hand fingers.
Right.
You know, I mean that's ridiculous. There's no reason to alternate on certain things because you're working three times as harder than you have to. But there are certain situations where you do have to alternate, which is why you should practice alternation.
Right.
But it doesn't mean like if I were doing something like, why would I want to go 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 when I could go 1 1 1 2 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 2 and make it much easier to play?
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, it really comes down to a musical judgment call on what makes sense, what's practical. You have to balance these things. And if it doesn't sound any different, nobody's going to know. Then why not? You know?
Sure. Sure. Okay.
But anyway.